So I hired my second employee, and I had 3 wins and 4 fails. First win is I felt like I lined up the questions about things that I was frustrated with my first technician, and I asked questions related specifically to the things that frustrated me with the first one to make sure I wasn't repeating those things. But I failed because I only interviewed one guy. He was a referral, and I just was like, oh, okay, as long as he fits these things, then that's fine. And so I didn't really vet him against other people, even other people in the industry. So that wasn't good. Also another win, I knew he knew how to use his phone, pay his bills. He was using Facebook and other apps, and he knew how to use the maps thing, and just he knew how to use his phone, but he would break his phone every 2 weeks. So that was a fail. I could have, as an employer, looking back, I could have just bought him a phone case as soon as I realized that this was a trend, because he went through several phones, and all I had to do was just buy him like a good case for it and be like, dude, this case doesn't come off. And then we would have had better communication. He wouldn't have had to borrow phones from different people and have to use a different service, and that service didn't get coverage in this area, and oh, you gotta take screenshots of the services for today and just text them to me because I don't have internet at this phone. You know, things like that that were just nuances that were just annoying. You know, and it's not that he was a bad guy, it's just that he just was apparently clumsy with his phone. So that was something I could have done as an employer that probably would have helped. Another win, I felt like I did better training. I stayed out with him longer during the initial training process. We had regular trainings. I was teaching him about the products, about bugs, about, you know, all the different stuff that I felt like the details of what he needed to learn. But I wasn't following up with him on his actual services. So that's the next fail, is that he would do services, and the only time I knew that he didn't do a good job is when a customer would call in and they would say, yeah, so this guy didn't wipe my webs, and then I started hearing more and more about not wiping the webs, and so I'm like, hey dude, are you wiping webs every time? And he's like, oh no, I forget. And so it wasn't until customers would call that I'd really know what to train on. And so I could have done a better job showing up at jobs while he's in the middle of it and going, and then waiting for him to finish and going, okay, did you do this? Did you do that? And I could have gauged more often that way. Just, okay, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. We need to just keep up on these things. And he needs to know that I'm looking over his shoulder and making sure that he's actually doing the job he's paid for. So that's something I learned to improve with that. The last fail is every time he would ask to get paid early, I would cave. I'd believe the story or whatever it was, and as an employer, I'd say, all right, I'll pay it early. You know, oh, I haven't paid my phone bill, it's going to get shut off tomorrow, and then I'd pay him. And, oh, I haven't paid my rent, and then I'd pay him. And then, you know, it seemed like the more often, he just kept asking to be paid early more often, and so it seemed like I was writing 2 checks a week a lot of the times. You know, it was really, I wanted to be an every other week paycheck, and I was writing a lot of checks, and it was just starting to get to the point where I was like, come on man, like make it 2 weeks. So with the next go around with the next employee, I'm not paying early. So those are my 3 wins, 4 fails with my second employee. Hopefully you learn from my mistakes and the things that I did right, and improve your business. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, share my videos so that other people can learn from my mistakes as well. Thanks.